Hey guys, I'm reading y'all's comments. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Good morning. I'm trying a different drink today. It's creamy coconut. I've been drinking them for a while now and I love them. But this is one of those drinks that's not going to be forever. It's just like I don't know if you call it a temporary drink, a special, but I love these. Oh my God. I feel like I'm drinking a dessert. I feel like I'm having a dessert for breakfast, is what I feel like. Oh, hang on. I'm fixing to try to do this. I may need Kayla's help. Hang on. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it. Kayla. Okay, I sent it to my iPad. Let's see. This is why I need Kayla in my life. Okay, I go to here. I go to video file. Oh, shh. Wait a minute. Downloads. I forgot what to do. I'm sending a video. Oh, shoot. That ain't it. Okay. I go to present. I go to, but if I go to video files, it's just my YouTube video. What do I do? Slides? Google Slides? Add Google Slide? No. That's not it. Hang on, I'm trying to see something because YouTube doesn't know and Facebook knows, and then y'all gonna start talking about it, and then the YouTube people are gonna get mad at me. Oh, image 346. Hang on, let me see if this works. 346, 346, 346. Oh, is that right? I got home to find this. Oh my goodness, look. We have babies. Hey, baby. Hey. You better get up there and get you some milk from your mommy before your brother takes it all. I think they're two boys. From what it looks like, is it's two boys. They're so sweet. Hang on, Roger, you're still the baby. You're still the baby, Roro. But look how gorgeous. That moon spotted. Oh my gosh. So exciting. Okay. Oh, let's see. So I haven't had a chance to tell YouTube yet. So yesterday, I went out there yesterday morning and I noticed a huge change in Polka. And I will tell you, I got goats pegged. I can tell you exactly when they're having babies. The other animals, not so much. But I've done enough goat babies to know when it's showtime. So when I went in there yesterday morning, I was like, oh, she's having it in the next 24 hours. So I decided to leave her in the barn yesterday. So Kayla was out there. Kayla and Brindley, her daughter, were out there working all day yesterday while I was inside because the nurse came and all that stuff with Larry. And so she didn't have the baby, but I knew. I was like, I'm leaving her in the barn. She's having this baby. So when Kayla left at 2:00, I had to go do some things yesterday afternoon. So I wasn't out there. So Shane ended up going to feed the animals. And he was like, did you know there's twins in the barn? I said, what? And I ran out there and she had twins. And this is her first time to have twins. Those are Bobby Joe's babies. They're both boys. The moon spotted buckling is going to Tiny Honey. I forgot her name. tiny something farm. She is a petting zoo. So that goat will be in a petting zoo. And she treats her animals fantastic. So it's going to have a great life. The other one, I don't know yet. So, it's exciting. I went out there this morning to see if Georgia Lee had had her baby because it's any day now, and she had not had her baby this morning. When it comes to the alpacas, I can't really tell. Like, how we were like following Dee Dee's story and we could see her udders getting bigger and bigger and bigger and her tutu swell up. Well, an alpaca is not like that. I can tell on all the animals, like she was getting bigger, dropping. With the alpaca, everything's hidden. The tail's bushy, so you can't see her from behind. You can't really see up under her. Like, it's nothing like it's almost like an animal, an alpaca, excuse me, is a totally different animal than anything else I'll have on my farm. They're hard to figure out. You've got to really study and know alpacas to know your stuff. And I'm so thankful that I have several mentors that help me with the alpacas. But because I have Georgia Lee separated on the other side, and Georgia Lee is not as tame as Tate and Mickey, I can't get her to feel her to see if she has milk. But usually an alpaca doesn't drop milk until they're in labor. So it wouldn't really matter if I was to feel her anyway. I can't tell. But I have specifics. I told you I bred her May 25th. She has not been exposed to another male. So I know for a fact it's May the 25th when I bred her. So they can go 11 to 12 months. 12 months will be May 25th, which is Saturday. But alpacas can freeze their pregnancy. If they get under stress, like me separating her from Tate because he's the milk bandit, that could throw her under stress and she may go longer than the 25th, but it won't be that much longer. But it will be in the next week or so that we will have a cria. So I did go to Chambers yesterday, which is where I get my feed, and I was able to get 24 ounces of colostrum. It's goat colostrum, so I have that in the freezer on standby if need be. But honestly, to be honest, I'm glad that she has not had the cria yet, because the longer, the actual better for the colostrum is what the vet tells me. So I still had the vet on standby, and he said, as soon as you see that baby, text me immediately. So I have him on standby because he may have to, if I can't get her to drink the colostrum, or him, if I can't get him to drink the colostrum out of the bottle, then I will have to get the vet here to probably tube feed it for precautions to make sure that that baby has enough colostrum because of the bandit of Taterbug stealing her milk. I feel I don't like separation. There is so much anxiety with Tate and Georgia Lee right now because they're not together. I am learning. I am learning. And alpacas are different. And the thought that Taterbug would be nursing this long is new to me, because with the goat, the mama kicks them off. Like after like 6, 7, 8 weeks, the mama doesn't want the baby to nurse anymore. So the mom like pushes them away, and the baby starts eating grain and hay. But with an alpaca, they can nurse forever. Like if I left Georgia Lee and Tate together, he could nurse 3 years. She could keep producing milk and feed the babies. A goat, a pig, everything else is not like that. They can't just produce milk for this baby that needs to be fed, but an alpaca can. So I'm learning. And the mistake I made was not separating Tate from Georgia Lee way before now. I should have weaned Tate way before now, and I didn't. But I learned my lesson. So now there's a little bit of stress going on because they're separated right at birth. And Tate is like, what the heck? You've got my mom away. Why are you doing this? So there is some adjustment going on. And I've learned some really valuable lessons over the past couple of weeks. If I ever decide to breed Georgia Lee, there will be a separation period, because now what's going to have to happen is Georgia Lee is going to have to be over here with her baby for months, not a couple of weeks, months, to get away from Tate so that Tate doesn't steal this Kria's milk. So there is going to have to be a separation period. There has to be separation periods with mamas and babies. I have to separate because of Leroy, my donkey, as well, because the donkey thinks the baby's a predator. So if I was to leave Georgia Lee out and she was to have that baby, Leroy automatically thinks, oh my gosh, there is a predator in here and I need to stomp it. And he will kill the baby. So anytime there is births on my farm, there has to be, like today, Polka, which is my goat that just had those twins, she will be locked in the barn with her babies for bonding time. Separate. I have to let the animals see that there's babies born. I have to let them hear their sounds. So Polka and her babies are in the first stall. Shishi and her babies are in the second stall. And once Georgia Lee has her baby, I'm going to put her in that stall with her baby to bond. I don't even want her to be with Rio. I'm going to put them together in the barn for maybe a couple of days for there to be a good bonding period. And then I will take her to the other side of the pasture and let her be separated from the milk bandit for several months so that Tater Bug is not stealing milk. So there's a lot going on. Cheers to that. Okay, let's see. What is going on in my life? Kayla and I have had our hands full with my dad. There is declining going on big time, and the declining is going on fast. And basically, I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to tell you that he is back on oxygen and he has no choice because his oxygen is in the 70s. And the past 24 hours, his oxygen has been in the 70s on oxygen. Okay? That's how bad things are right now. Things are declining very fast. And so there's a lot of hard decisions that Kayla and I are trying to make together, and my family, about what's the best for Larry. And on, I think it was Monday, they couldn't even find a pulse hardly on him. So things feel scary. And I am trying to spend more time with him and let Kayla go more into the farm because of the situation that's happening. And I just ask that you pray for Kayla and I and my family, that as we go through this transition, that a lot of times when you make decisions, you have to make decisions that you don't like. But in the long term, you have to look at the big picture and say, what is the best decision for this person, even though we don't like the decision? Like I'm having to make some really hard decisions. So I know that Larry is considered a character on my farm because I talk a lot about Larry, but just know that things are declining fast. And Kayla and I are trying to juggle the farm and Larry at the same time. And we're trying to provide the best care for Larry. And it's almost like right now, my animal, like Kayla's kind of taking charge of the animals, and I'm having to focus more on Larry right now. So I can't thank Kayla enough. Y'all, she is the bomb.com, just to let you know. And her daughter Brinley is too. Brinley's out of school. And yesterday I was able to go, Brinley, will you go up here and feed these chickens? And will you go check on the rabbits? And Brinley was just little Miss Entrepreneur. You can tell she's raised by a wonderful entrepreneur mom. And she's just going out there helping her mom with the animals. And she's been just, both of them have been an asset to my farm. And there's no way that I could run Sneed's Farmhouse without her. As a matter of fact, since she's came on board, my farm has grown. And you guys treat Kayla so good. The things that I love is that you guys check on Kayla. If she's on another live on another farm and y'all recognize her, y'all are saying hey to Kayla. And that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that y'all love her and protect her. And it means the world to me that she got noticed in public the other day. And as a matter of fact, where was I at? Oh, I was was it I was at the drugstore, I think. And this person said, Are you the girl that owns the farm, Aunt Judy? I said, I am. And she was like, oh my gosh, I follow you. And she was like, I thought I saw Kayla and your dad in here, and I wanted to speak to her, but I was scared to speak to her because I didn't know if that would bother her. Kayla is just like me. We don't Now, if I'm in the doctor's office with my feet in stirrups, I probably don't want to be recognized. But you can talk to us in public. It actually makes us feel good when you guys recognize us in public. Kayla is not a scary person. So like, she is flabbered that you recognize her. So if you see her at the gas station, or you see her at the ballpark, or you see her at CVS, she is very approachable. She'll take a picture with you. She will talk about she whatever. So like, don't ever feel like if you see us in public, oh my gosh, is that Aunt Judy? Is that cousin Kayla? Oh my gosh, there's Dr. Duckett, whatever you call her. She is very approachable. So I'm not even going to do anything to my hair. So please know that. And I am too. If Retha Charlotte is on here right now, I wanted to tell you that thank you for sending Larry cookies. I've had a hard time getting Larry to eat. He's lost 14 pounds. And I've had a hard time getting him to eat. And he is eating these cookies. So thank you for sending the cookies to him, because I will tell you that days are hard on getting him to eat right now. And he is loving it. When you sent the cookies last time, he ate the heck out of them. And Larry doesn't eat sweets, but he is loving these cookies that you sent, Retha. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will tell you that Larry needs a lot of love right now. And I appreciate anything. If you send him a card, a letter, a lot of you have been in his shoes. You've had to wear oxygen before, and you understand his pain and like all that. If you have time to send him a card, he needs encouragement. My address is on Google. If you go to my website, the address is on there. Address the card to Larry Glasscock. He would love that. Just to let you know, he needs to connect with people that are in his shoes. He needs to connect with uh kids trying to be the boss of me, like parents that are like, I'm so sick of my kids. She's trying to tell me what to do. And I don't want her to tell me what to do. He needs people that understand what he's going through, people that are on oxygen, people that have blood pressure problems or hate going to the doctor. And every time you turn around, you get negative news. Like he needs to be loved on, because it maybe you need it too. That's what he needs. He does. All right. Let's see what I want to talk about. Hang on. I can't remember what the subject is. Hang on. I do, but I don't. As I am facing things like in my life, I I have learned to write down what's happening in my notes and then go back and talk about what's happening. Okay. Today I want to talk about one of my followers had sent me a message about her and her husband kind of having a dispute, and she was trying to pause, and she was trying to remain calm, and she was trying to break things down, and then the next thing you know, it was an explosion, and she just had diarrhea of the mouth, and she just lost it. She lost it on her husband, and then she's texted me going, Judy, I screwed up. Oh my God, I screwed up. I lost it. But she said, once I lost it on him, he was nicer to me. And so I thought I would talk about that today, because that's happened to me before. There has been times where I take it and I take it and I take it and I take it, and then I just flipping explode. And when I explode, I'm not an explosion kind of girl. Like I don't really lose it. I'm usually always in control of my feelings. Not my feelings. My feelings I don't always have control over, but I'm in control of anger. I'm not a person of anger. I'm usually like, if Shane has an explosion of anger, I'm looking at him like, you are acting like a complete idiot, is usually what I do in my head. But there are times when he pushes me to my limit and I explode, and I'm like, let me tell you, son of a gun. And I just explode. And when I do that, it's almost like he doesn't know that personality. And he's like, where'd this creature come from? Because this is not how she normally acts. But I'm the type of person that you push me and you push me and you push me and you push me, and then I flippin' explode. But how does that work out for me? I can't speak for all of y'all. I can only speak for myself. But when I've had explosions on Shane or my children or my friend or Larry or something like that, it's usually temporary. In other words, there's temporary change. Like if there's something that Shane does that I literally hate, like Shane is a teacher. Okay. Shane has been a teacher for 1,854 years. Okay. And he has a tendency to be a teacher to me instead of being my husband. He likes to teach me. That's his career. That's what he's good at. If I say, hey, Shane, will you do this? Well, come here. Let me teach you how to do it. I don't want to learn how to do it. I want you to do it. And I don't have time to learn. And he's like, Judy, you've got to learn how to do this crap. And I'm like, Joker, I have no desire to learn how to get on the skid steer and clean up the farm. I want you to do it. And he's like, he's a teacher. So he wants me to take the time to learn how to drive the tractor or learn how to drive the skid steer or learn how to clean up my farm and like not depend on him. It's not that he doesn't want to do it. He just wants to teach me how to do it. And I hate that. Like, I hate it. And there's times, and he'll come home, say that he's been gone for work for a couple of, like, let's say he's been gone for a week. He comes home and he's like, why did you do this? Why is this over here? Where is my stuff? You have moved my stuff. And when he comes home and starts doing this, I'm like, welcome home. You've been home for 2 minutes and you're running your freaking mouth. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do why? And it drives me crazy. Because it makes me feel as though I do nothing right. Like, you, Joker, you've been gone for a week and I've been running this train for a whole week by myself. Instead of looking at all the negative, why don't you look at Judy washed the clothes, the animals are fed, Larry's doing okay. Like, why don't you look around and see what good instead of like coming home noticing that I moved your water hose and didn't put it back, why don't you notice the good things that I do? like, is there anything good? Could you tell me the 10 things that you see that I did? But he's not like that. He's not like that. And I take it, and it's almost as if when he's gone, like, let's say he's gone hunting. When he comes home, I feel like the president's fixing to come to the house. I run around to make sure all the clothes are washed, the sheets are clean, like the house is clean. I try to make sure everything is perfect, as if the president of the United States is coming to Sneed's farmhouse and I've got to make everything perfect. And when Shane is gone and he is coming home, I prepare for that. I want him to feel. Why do I do that? Let me figure out why I do that. Why do I run around and make sure everything is perfect? I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want him to come home and go, what the flip have you been doing all week? This house is disgusting. You got dirty dishes 3 days old in the sink, and this house is disgusting. Like, not that he would do that. But I don't want him to think that. I want to take care of him. That's my nature. The wife in me wants him to come home to a clean house. That is just, it's not important to Shane, but it's important to me. And so I will run around. Y'all should see me. I will run around and clean this house like there's no tomorrow. And I will try to make everything perfect. And then he pulls in the driveway. And then he gets out of the car with his bag. And he's like, what'd you do with my water hose? Why is my water hose not where it's supposed to be? He just started. And I'm like, I've literally killed myself for the past 24 hours making sure everything is perfect. And you come home and you're worried about the flipping water hose being moved. I didn't put the water hose back. Well, Judy, you don't touch my stuff. If you can't put it back where it belongs, then don't touch it. So you know what it makes me do? I go buy my own water hose. I go buy my own crap. I go buy my own tools. Because I am not the best at putting things back where they belong. I am not. I'm on the struggle bus when it comes to putting things back where they belong. For example, this past week, I had to go get Larry's medication. And Larry gave me his credit card to go get the medication. And I went and got the medication. I came home and I did not give him his credit card back. And A couple of days later, I can't remember, he was going somewhere doing something with Shane or Kayla, and he goes, "Hey, Judy, you have my credit card." And I was like, "Oh," I ran to my wallet and I was like, "Oh God, where's his credit card? Oh God, I did not give his credit card back to him. What did I do with the credit card?" So then I start going into panic mode and it's nowhere in my wallet. I'm like, okay, did I leave it in the car? When I got his medication, the lady handed me the credit card and the bag of medicine. And I was on the phone with Larry's friend and I put the medication in the passenger seat. And I was like, oh, is it? And Larry's standing there going, "Where's my credit card? Where's my credit card?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I have no idea." So I'm running out to the car and I'm like, okay, it's probably in the passenger seat. Y'all, it wasn't in the passenger seat. It wasn't in my purse or my wallet. And I'm like, oh dear Jesus. This is why Shane yells at me for the water hose being gone, because oftentimes I don't put things back where they belong because I'm ADHD and I get sidetracked. I do. And the teacher in Shane is very uniformed. Shane is a very clean person for the most part. He knows where he has 400 screwdrivers, and he knows where every single one of them are. And if I go get a screwdriver, he notices that it's gone. And then I go get the screwdriver and I go, I don't know, open my Amazon box with the screwdriver. And he's like, "Why are you opening the Amazon box with my screwdrivers? Why are you not using the knives that I give you? Judy, get up in the morning and put the knife in your pocket." I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not a knife in my pocket kind of girl. Like, that is not who I am. And he's like, "It needs to be who you are, because you go get a screwdriver out of the toolbox to open the Amazon packages." And I just go to the first thing that I can get. And then I'll open the Amazon package with the screwdriver, and then I'll lay it down and I forget to go put it back in his toolbox. And he's like, "I bought you a knife for a reason. Put the knife in your pocket." I feel like if I put a knife in my pocket, I feel like that is so boyish. I don't even know how to explain it, but I just do not feel like, maybe if I got a routine of putting a knife in my pocket, but, and a lot of times, if Kayla and I are out at the farm, we need a knife. You know, we need to undo zip ties, or we need to open something, or we need a knife in our pocket. But I just feel like that is so boyish to have a knife in your pocket. I'd rather go get a screwdriver out of his toolbox. Yes, I need to put the dadgum screwdriver back, but I just can't remember. And oftentimes when he starts in on me, I say, "Listen, dude, you chose your wife. I chose my husband. The wife that you chose cannot remember to put things back where they belong. Okay? It's just who I am. I'm sorry that you married that girl, but it's just who I am." And I make him so mad because I drink water and there's lids all over the place. Like, the lids to the water, it drives him insane because they're in the house, they're on the ground outside, they're in the garage, they're everywhere because I open it to drink it and I set it down and I don't go throw it away. And I drive him crazy. And then he is like, "Why is there water tops, lids everywhere in our property?" I'm like, "I'm collecting those. Okay. Listen, you chose your wife. I am the person that throws lids on the ground. Okay. It's just who I am. It's in my soul and body. I can't change. I've tried to change and it just doesn't work. It just, It's just, I need you to love me for who I am. I am that wife that is not putting the screwdriver back, and I am that wife that is throwing the lids on the ground. I'm sorry. It's who you chose. You should have thought about that way before you asked me to marry you. But I didn't choose you. You chose me. You're the one who wanted to marry me and asked me to marry you. And this is all of me. It, I'm a package. I'm the package deal. I come with throwing lids on the ground, and I come with not putting things back where they belong. And I come with not having a knife in my pocket. I'm not the knife girl. I'm not. It makes me feel like a boy, and I'm not putting a knife in my pocket. I'm going to get the screwdriver out of your. And this is what really drives me crazy is when I bring the Amazon. I bring the Amazon box into the house. And instead of going get the knife or the box cutter that he bought me, I use a kitchen knife. Oh, you want him to flip his lid? Go get a kitchen knife and open your Amazon package. Shane Sneed will flip his lid. That, Judy, do not use a steak knife to open the Amazon box. Shane, and I do this to him every time. I'm like, Shane, I'm sorry, but you chose your wife. Back when I was a kid, my mom taught me to use the steak knife to open the Amazon box. Okay. It is just you chose your wife, Shane. The wife you chose uses steak knives to open the Amazon box. I hate it for you, buddy. I hate it. But these are the decisions that you made. And that's what I say to him. When he starts in on me, that's what I say. So sometimes when I freaking lose my lid because he has pushed me to my limit and I lose my crap. And when I get to this point, where I have lost it, I'm trying to think of a situation when I've lost it. Usually the only thing Shane and I really fight over is money. You know how it's usually money. It's usually like, what are you spending at the grocery store? I would say, Joker, I tell you what, you haven't been to the grocery store in 5 years. You get your butt up and you go to the grocery store. And if you think you can spend less money than me, then you do it. You go to the grocery store. I would love for that burden to be lifted off me, that I don't have to go to the grocery store anymore and figure out what's for supper. So if you think I can spend less money, you get your butt off work and you go to the Wally World or the Publix and you go buy groceries. And then let's see how well you do, because Shane Sneed hasn't bought groceries since we've lived here. He's not gone to the grocery store and bought groceries. He has no idea how much things cost. And we will fight over that. And I will the soon as he says something about how much money I spend at the grocery store or whatever, I will flip my lid. And when you flip your lid, it feels good in the moment. But how does it work out for? Like, when you flip, and I'm going to tell you something. This is awful. Okay, this is awful. But when I flip my lid, I say bad words. And I'm not normally one to say bad words, but I will use every word. I'll use the F word and everything. When I have lost it, the vocabulary that comes out of my mouth is, and when it happens and I say bad words, I'm serious. Oh, she is flipping her lid because she just said the F word. I will, when I feel like I've taken it, I flip my lid and then I have the worst vocabulary there is. I do. And I will tell him to F off or whatever I need. I will flip, but it doesn't happen very often. I mean, I probably have done that twice in my marriage, and we've been together for 9 years. Now, I don't call him bad words. I don't do that. I don't call him a you know what head or anything, an a-hole, or I don't do that. I'm not that bad. But when I have been pushed to the limit, I'm ugly. I'm straight up a train wreck. And when it happens and I begin to flip my lid because he says something about money, I'm triggered when the word money comes up. I'm triggered because I'm going to be homeless. Like I go to La La Land, and when I do it and have this explosion, my blood pressure goes up. Sometimes I'll go into a full blown anxiety attack. I will feel like I'm hyperventilating. Everyone has to get out of my eyesight. When I've had the explosion and I've said the F word, I have to go to the creek and repent my sins and get it together. And if he stays in my sight when I've had the explosion, I am going to go into a full-fledged panic attack if I'm to that point. But sometimes I get pushed to that point. I do. I get so mad. And I always think about Dr. Phil. You know how Dr. Phil, I love Dr. Phil. I really wanted to be on his show, but he, canceled his series or whatever. But I have to, when I am like that, I cause myself so much, but I get my point across to Shane. He knows if I'm flipping my lid and I've said the F word, I am serious as serious can be. And in the moment, when I get to the explosion, he doesn't explode. But if I do an explosion a little bit, if I'm not serious, like he'll get louder than me. Like when we're in a fight, if I start getting loud, he just gets louder. He gets louder and meaner. And then I just cave. But when I'm in the explosion where I say the F word, he shuts up. And it's like, I think about Dr. Phil. How's that working out for you? I'm like, well, I got my point across. I shut his butt up. He didn't come back at me, did he? So, I think that, but then did it fix the problem? It might fix the problem temporarily, but does that mean Shane's not going to gripe at me or trigger me about money? No. So what good does it do for me to have an explosion? Because it causes me a daggum panic attack, and it causes me anxiety, and it causes me to have to go repent my sins because I've said the F word. Okay. So it's really not good for me. But when you are trying, okay, you know how when it comes to your spouse, you're trying to get your point across and you're like, they don't understand. So let me sit her down and let me explain to her. Judy, spending $300, $350 a week at the grocery store is not getting it. That is too much money. So let's say he sits me down and he's trying to explain to me that I'm spending too much money at the grocery store. He's trying to get his point across to me, right? And he's trying this way, he's trying this way, he's trying this way, and it ain't working. It ain't working. He's tried every approach to talk to me about spending money at the grocery store. I'm not listening. So if you're trying to explain to your spouse, you're trying to get your point across to them, and it's a dead end. They're not listening. And it might get better for a little bit, and then they go right back to their old ways. And you're like, this is a train wreck. She is not listening to me. He is not listening to me. I feel like I feel like when you try to when you have been a broken record means every time you turn around, you're visiting the same fight. Like, y'all sit down, y'all have a conversation. You think we're level, okay, we're level, and this is going to happen. Like, okay, we got our point across. I got my point across. He got his point across. It's going to be better. And then the stupid broken record happens, and you're right back to where you were. And you're like, he don't listen. I'm fixing to be Forrest Gump and put on my shoes, and I'm going to run, and I'm going to run, and I'm going to run till I can't run no more. Because I get like that. I feel like that. I can feel why Forrest Gump put on his shoes and just ran. Because many a times I feel like doing that. I'm like, I'm just running away from home. You never, as a kid, when you thought that, you're like, I'm packing my bags. My mother's mean to me, and I'm running away. Did any of y'all run away from home? I remember my youngest son ran away from home when I don't remember how old he was, but he ran away from home and went to his friend's house down the street. And the friend's mom called, Vanson's here with a suitcase. He ran away from home. I don't think I ever ran away from home. Did y'all? Did your mom pack your suit back when you said you wanted to run away? Did your mom go, well, come on into your bedroom. I'll help you pack your clothes. If I told Shane that I was running away from home, he would literally pack my bags. He would literally go, well, let's go pack your bags. Come on, sugar bug. Let's go pack your bags. Go ahead. Do you need some new tennis shoes when you start running like Forrest Gump? I'll go out and buy you the best tennis shoes you need so you can run and you can run and you can run. I can see him. I can so see him saying that. But what I'm getting at is when you're in a situation where there's a broken record, and I will tell you, when it comes to money, Shane and I are a broken record. It is a broken record. Same bullcrap every single time. And I'm like, I am so sick of it. I am so sick of wanting to run away from home. Like, what the heck? But I realize that this is my problem, because Shane gets on the struggle bus when it comes to money as well. And we're a broken record. And Shane, I don't think, wants to run away from home. I do. Okay. And so therefore, this is not a Shane Judy problem. This is a Judy problem, because Judy is not dealing with this well, because he won't freaking listen to me. I'm like, you don't listen. He's like, no, you don't listen. I'm like, no, Joker, you do not listen. And I went to counseling this week. I go to counseling a lot. And I told her, I said, when it comes to this subject, we have been together for 9 years. It is not going to get better. It is not going to get better. So please help me figure out how to deal with his butt and not have explosions, because I want to have explosions and say the F word a lot of times with him, because he triggers the crap out of me. And in my head, I don't know if you do this, but I'm like, how can someone love me with all their heart and treat me like this? Do y'all say that? You're like, there's no way that this dude or this woman is in love with me, because she does not treat me the way I should be treated. She does not show love to me. And I wonder sometimes if Shane does that about me, if he goes, there's no way that Judy uses me. All Judy wants me for is a chicken coop, or to build her something. That's all Judy wants me for. And I do find myself, I won't. Will you do this for me? Will you put out hay? Will you help me with the feed? Will you fix put fertilizer over here so we can get more grass from the yard? Will you do this? I do that a lot. So I can see why he thinks, if he's never said this, but I can see where he goes, I just feel used. All she wants me for is her little honeydew list. I think that sometimes. Okay, so when you're in the moment where you're a broken record in your marriage, and like you keep thinking it's going to get better, and it doesn't get better. You're setting up these expectations. Oh, we just had our serious talk. I got through to him this time. And he gets better or she gets better for a week. And you're like, oh, so much better. I finally got through to him. It's better. And then the crap starts coming back up. And you're like, well, that didn't do any freaking good. He didn't learn a darn thing I said to him. And I'm sorry for saying him. I'm just a girl and I end up saying him. I have talked to her 100 times and she is not comprehending what I'm trying to the point I'm trying to make to her. Okay. I tell you all the time, there's only one person you can control, and that is you. So you're going to have to figure out, you have choices, right? You have choices. You can stay in your marriage or you can get out. And is it so bad that you need to get out? Oh, that's his oxygen tank. Is it so bad that you need to get out? Or is it like not that bad? If it's not that bad where you want to get out, then you need to fix you. And saying the F word to your spouse is probably not a good idea. Just saying. Having explosions sometimes need to happen. You know, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that I was sitting on the toilet and I was having an explosion because I thought I was in the room by myself. You know, I was like sitting there, I don't know, I guess I was taking a poo and I was like, okay, we'll sit here. I'm going to sit here on the throne, let the kids out of the swimming pool, and I'm just going to have an explosion. And I was just like running my mouth. And I was like, I'm just moving in the guest bedroom. I'm so sick of him. And I was just throwing up at the mouth. Because sometimes as individuals, when we're sitting on the throne and we let the kids out at the swimming pool, we need to have an explosion. But we think that we're in the room alone. And there's times when you need to do that and you need to get it out. But you don't need to do that in front of your spouse, because sometimes when you're letting the kids off at the swimming pool, you say things that you don't really mean. You're just living in the moment. You're living in the moment and you're just being frustrated. And it's not so bad that we need to get a divorce. You know, it's just bad. But when there's things that are a broken record and it never gets fixed, it's been 9 years and this is never getting fixed. Never. And sometimes we're like, okay, well, if I do this or this happens, it'll get better. No, Joker, it is not getting better. You have got to change you. So what do I do to change me and my attitude? It takes me sometimes a long time to catch on that it's not getting better, because I'll sit and try every situation. I try to talk to him calmly. I try to lose my crap and say the F word. I try to, whatever it is, I've tried every situation and it ain't fixing him. It ain't fixing him. And he's probably tried every situation to fix me. Like, put the knife in your freaking pocket, Judy. And it ain't fixing me. It's not. I'm not doing what he's telling me to do. And no matter how many times he tells me not to put the lids on the ground, I'm putting the lids on the ground. I try to be conscious of it. And I try to go put the lids in the trash can. But it's like my ADHD kicks in and I'm not doing it. And he's going to drive himself crazy trying to get me to fix this problem. because it's not getting fixed. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. And at the end of the day, when it's to the point where you're like, okay, today's the day I'm going out to the Dick's sporting goods store and I'm buying the shoes because I'm running until I can't run no more, like Forrest Gump. And I'm going to document the whole thing. And I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to put on the shoes and I'm going to just run and document the whole thing. Like if you're to that point, you need to fix you. How do you fix you? I can't tell you specifically how to fix you because we're all different. I know I'm a very slow learner when it comes to fixing me because it takes me a long time to figure out the problem is me. I keep thinking it's him. You need to change. It's you. I'm good. I go to counseling. I'm good. I'm good. You need to change. You need to fix you. I am good. I do that. And it takes me a long time to catch on that I have to change me. And listen, when you change you, look what's sitting right here on my knife. I'm going to stick my knife in my pocket. I got a knife in my pocket. Shane, I got my knife in my pocket today. It's a John Deere knife. It takes me a long time to catch on that it's me with the problem because I am trying to fix him. And I'm not trying to fix the way I act, like how I react to his stupidity. Okay. In my head, the way he's thinking is straight up stupidity. I have to fix the way I react to his stupidity. And it's hard. Hang on. It's hard because it's a broken record. And when you're trying to change you and the way you react to somebody that does something that you do not like, it is hard. It takes practice. And it's something that you're revisiting all the time because that person is going to continue to do that. And you're like, here we go again. Here we go. But when you're trying to fix you and your brain, it takes practice and it takes a long time to fix those things and make it permanent. And I don't know if it's ever permanent because anything that you're trying to change about yourself, it takes constantly nurturing it. You have to constantly nurture that problem to fix it. And I don't think there's a permanent fix. I think it's something that you have to wake up and work on every time it happens. So every time Shane triggers me with, let's just say, money, I have to go, okay, here we go. Lock in the seatbelt. Judy, don't go to the store and buy shoes and run like Forrest Gump. Let's try something different. Let's try not to say the F word, Judy, because that just gives you an anxiety attack. So what can we do to fix this problem that he keeps triggering me with? I do not like the way he acts. I do not like what he says to me. I don't like any of it. But I can't fix the things that he says to me. I can't fix the fact that he triggers me. I have to fix this problem within me. And I have to go, what's wrong with me? Why do I let what he says consume me? What is it that's causing this to consume me and want to run away from home and pack my bags? Or what is causing me to go into this crazy land that I go in, and why can't I stay calm? Why am I going to outer space and say things that I don't normally say? What is causing me to do that? That's where you have to start. Every time my spouse says this, why am I going here? What is causing me to be out of control? because you can't fix her. You can't fix him. All you can fix is yourself. And you've got to break it down to figure out, why am I saying the F word? Why am I buying new shoes to document the story of me running like Forrest Gump because I am so sick of this? What is causing me to feel like this? And when you figure out where the trigger, usually it's from fear. Usually, oh God, I'm over here preaching and it's 8 o'clock. Usually it's fear of something that's causing you to say the F word or to run like Forrest Gump. Is some type of fear, and that person is triggering that fear, and then you are trying to get your point across. You won't talk to me that way. You will not do this. You will not do that. Okay, well, if it's that bad where there is, I mean, there's different levels of this. Okay, my situation is not that bad. Okay, it's not like Shane and I have a good marriage. So that my situation is not where I need to leave because it's abusive or like things like that. I I have to pick and choose my battles just like you do with the 2-year-old. Is this situation bad enough that I need to get out of my marriage? No, not for me. No. I can't. I've realized there's certain words that have to come out of my vocabulary when I'm around Shane. But see, me in my heart and my giving self and I don't like that. I don't like that I can't say certain words around Shane. That doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But I've realized that these words are a trigger to him. Because I had to go figure out what his trauma was. I had to go, what's that about? What is that crazy? Like, I had to go kind of figure out, I had to like go dig to figure out what that was. Because what it is, that explosion that he has nothing to do with me. I had to go figure out what causes him to say, and I have learned that these couple of words are not to be said around him. Because if I say these words around him, he gets triggered, and then I get triggered, and then there's a big old explosion where I say the F word. So I had to learn that important thing. It took me counseling to figure it out because I couldn't figure it out. For 9 years, I could not figure out what was going on. But I finally figured it out. And once I figured it out, I was more gentle to his feelings because I realized what was going on. And once I realized that it had nothing to do with me, nor our marriage or anything, I was like, oh, I'm triggering him. And he feels in fear. It's causing him fear when I do this. You're not going to take advantage of me. I've been taken advantage of before. And I'm like over here, I ain't this person. I'm Judy Sneed. And I ain't ever done jack stocky mushrooms to you. But him and the trigger is when I do these certain things or say these certain words, he goes to outer space. And he may not want to go get a new pair of shoes to run like Forrest Gump because he's different from me. He's going to just have an explosion and say what he needs to say. And 5 minutes later, he's over it. Where I'm wanting to just run and document it on YouTube. Judy has literally run away from home. Could y'all see that? Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to figure out why is this a broken record? Why does this situation keep being brought up? Figure out what is going on with your spouse and figure out what is going on with you that's causing this. Because there may be certain words that you're not ever allowed to say in front of your spouse again. And that seems so ridiculous. It seems childlike, doesn't it? Like, I can't say this word. Like, really? Like, are we not adults here? Can't you figure out what's going on? But not everyone has counseling under the belt to understand, like, figure out what my fears are. You're triggering my fears, but not everyone is like that. But when you're wanting to dance and you're wanting to learn how not to say the F word and not to run away from home, when you're trying to figure out how to be healthy and happy in your life, when you're trying to figure out how to put your dancing shoes on every day and put a smile on your face when everything's a disaster around you, you have to like get really smart and be like a detective and figure all this stuff out. Figure out your kids. What are their triggers? What are your husband's triggers? What words can you not say because it causes them to go to outer space? What do you have to do? That is called being healthy within you. The best thing you can do for your marriage, your children, your family, and yourself is to fix you. If you continually try to fix your spouse or fix your children or whatever, you're going to be miserable the rest of your life and you're going to sit it out because you're constantly trying to fix everybody else but yourself. I'm not the one with the problem. It's him. He's the jackleg. She's the jackleg. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I go to counseling. I'm good. You're the one with the problem. You're the one that needs to get on medication. You're the one that needs to go to counseling. When you do that, you're sitting it out. In order to dance, you have to keep blinders on and fix you. And if you're having explosions, there's something that's being triggered that you're losing control. Does that mean you're a total train wreck when you lose it? No. Get yourself up, brush yourself off, repent your sins, and try again. I don't have it all together. I still probably will say the F word to him at some point because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. There's days that I'm able to go, pause, go to the creek, hurry, go to the creek, Judy, go to the creek because you're about to lose it. There's days that I'm strong like that. But then there's days that I just lose my crap. And I'm like, you are on my freaking nerves. And I just lose it. But that doesn't mean that I am sitting it out. Sitting it out is not fixing the problem. Sitting it out is not recognizing there's a problem. Sitting it out means you're not working. You're constantly working on yourself if you're dancing. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes. Sitting it out is not having an explosion. I would call sitting it out having an explosion and not having any guilt over it and not going, okay, I just lost my crap. That is sitting it out when you're not recognizing it and it's continuing to happen. The more you work on yourself, it'll get easier and easier and easier and easier. You screw up. It's kind of like that thing. 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. 5 steps forward, 1 step back. It gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. But you have to consistently work on it. And you're never all the way there. Like, you're never going to be perfect, right? None of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's just in our DNA, you know? But sitting it out is not recognizing when we are sitting here trying to fix him. He's the one with the problem. He's doing this. She is a train wreck. When we're over here in their lane and we're not going, okay, I can't fix him, but I can fix the way I react to what he does. That's what I can fix. So what do I need to do to fix this problem? What the crap is wrong with my spouse? What is triggering her? Why does this broken record keep coming up? Dig. You're going to have to dig. You're going to have to dig deep and figure out what's triggering that your spouse. What she's got some type of fear in her, and you're triggering that fear. And you've got to figure it out, because there may be key words like myself that I am not allowed to say in front of Shane. I cannot say these words in front of him. I will trigger the fool out of him. And then when he gets triggered, I get triggered. And then we're both train wrecks. And if we're both saying the F word at each other, that ain't good. That ain't good. Okay? I hope that I said something that makes sense today. For the person that messaged me, you're not sitting it out when you have an explosion, because right off the bat, you recognized it. But I want you to understand that it might fix it temporarily. Your explosion might fix the problem, but it ain't fixing the problem. You don't need an explosion to fix the problem. Do you understand? So when this broken record creeps back up and you're like, well, me cussing him out didn't do a good enough job, because here we go again. You need to go to the creek next time. As soon as you're triggered, oh God, I got to get my shoes on. I got to go to the creek because I'm about to say the F word to my husband. You gotta stop yourself and go, what is going on? Go to the creek, get away. I need a minute. I mean, in the middle of the fight, I need a minute. I need a timeout. Let me get a timeout because I'm about to cuss you out. Let me get a timeout. I'm going to go over here. What just triggered him? And you're not going to figure it out quick. It took me a long time. I just now figured it out. And it took a counselor to help me figure it out. And what I found was something that I didn't even think in my head. But once I realized it, it's so clear to me now. And I'm so much more gentle to his trigger because I know where it's coming from and has nothing to do with me. All right, guys, today's Friday, party hardy rock and roll. Maybe we'll have a Kriya today. Maybe Georgia Lee will have birth and we'll have 2 baby goats and pigs and Kriyas and everything all over the place. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, you have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. And this weekend, I hope you dance. I'll see you later. Bye.